So the first person is Mr. Tolu Taiwo. His presentation is modeling water consumption by poor people, urban households, using geospatial technology and machine learning techniques. We have 15 minutes.
Thank you, sir. PhD, sir, professors in the house, senior lecturers, colleagues, and students. My name is Andrew Olaiton Tolu Taiwo. The topic of my presentation is modeling water consumption by urban poor households using geospatial technology and machine learning techniques. The United Nations has 17 laudable goals, which are called Sustainable Development Goals. The first of these goals is to end poverty. Number 6, the goal is to provide clean water for all. It has been established that provision of clean water is one of the best solutions to end poverty. Look at these pictures I took from site, from the study area. The woman is fetching water. Look at how the environment is. Imagine how clean that water is. That person on the right-hand side is the water vendor. Is fetching water to go and sell to people, and especially water from kerosene tank. How clean is that water? Provision of clean water is one of the problems poor people are facing. And one of the best ways to solve that problem is to provide water distribution network to urban poor households. And to be able to provide such network, there is need to find out the volume of water being consumed by every household per time. This is the study area, where there is no water network. Just across the road, Abuja Kefi Expressway is Karu Town, where there is water network. So the challenge is to extend water network from Karu Town to Nyanya Maraba Town. So the aim of this study is to model and predict volume of water being consumed by poor urban households. We have 5 specific objectives. 1, to identify and select explanatory variables. 2, to validate data sets where there is no water network. 3, to model volume of water consumed and compare model performances. 4 is to predict the volume being consumed where there is no water network. And finally, 5, to examine the influence of geospatial issues on model performance. There have been many research works that are related, or the best of them that is connected to this was done by a group called Water and Sanitation in Urban Program in 2016. We went to site and collected data of volume of water being consumed by the poor people. The challenge is this: where there is water network, it is easy to collect volume of water being consumed per time because there are water meters that are reading the volume being consumed. But where there is no water network, there is no automatic way of gathering data. So what we did, we went to site with questionnaires and use questionnaires to gather the volume of water being consumed by the people. Here is a conceptual framework and methodological framework. That's what we did on site. And then we have 7 data sets that we collected in order to model this volume being consumed by the people. Here are our data from Maraba data set and from Karu data set. Let me quickly say this. Maraba data set collected with questionnaires because there are no water network there. Data sets we got from the government because they are water network, and every household has water meter that are reading the water being consumed. So we went to the government agency in charge, that's our FCT Water Board, to collect this data. And then we use GST technology to combine, to integrate all the data together, and then we have 30 variables. The very first one is the volume of water being consumed. That is the dependent variables. Then we have 29 independent variables. And here are the statistics of the expected variables. And then we used Python codes in Jupyter Notebook to do all the experimentation. And here are the equations. It is a known fact that normal equation can solve systems of equations with least squares method. So we coded normal equation model and coded 4 machine learning models, and then compare the results to validate our models. And then we use any mean absolute error, root mean square error, and R-square to do our model evaluation. We carried out 5 experiments. The first experiment is feature selection. Second one is validating the data set where there's no water network. Number 3 is modeling and comparing water performances. Number 4, predicting volume of water consumed. And number 5, examining influence of the special features on model performances. Here are our results. The very first experiment, feature selection. Like I said, we have 29 features in all. We passed them through 5 different feature selection techniques. PC, ID, RF, LASSO, and PCA, and we got all those features. In all, we have 9 features as output. These features, we use them as input into the various models. And then we carry out all the remaining experiments. Second experiment is validating the data set where there is no water network. Remember, we collected with questionnaires data set where there is no network. Then we went to where there is water network from the government agency, SERMINAR III, to get data. We use that of where there is no network to validate that of where there is network, where there is no network, and then the result. And you can see by the right-hand side where there is water network, almost straight, and the other side, the right-hand side, where there is no water network. The third experiment result, modeling and comparing model performances. We use data set for wet season and dry season to model the four models and normal equation. The 4 models are there: multilinear regression, random forest, vector regression, additional network, and normal equation. And those are the results. And of course, here are the graphs of the difference between the model performance in wet season and in dry season. And then we carried out significant tests to test the model performances. And then afterward, we're able to use the multilinear regression to get the parameters. It solved the equations, got the parameters, then we put the parameters back into the equation and got our model for dry season and then for wet season. Also carried out tests to test the difference in performance between the machine learning models and the normal equation model. The number 4 experiment is predicting volume of water being consumed, and here are the results. Finally, the final experiment is the influence of the special features on model performances. We discovered that the results by the right-hand side there, where we input geospatial features into the models, and to the right-hand side where there is no geospatial features in the models, and that is the result. Then we carried out test again on that to find out the difference, whether there's any significant difference between the performance of the models where there is water, where there is geospatial features, and where there is no geospatial features. And the result gave us that there is a significant difference between model performances when geospatial features are included and when they are not included. Now, finally, let's talk about the summary of the results. The first objective is to identify and select explanatory variables. In all, we have 9 variables identified, and then 9 explanatory variables were selected. Number 2 objective is to validate data set where there is no water network. And from our results, where there is water network, which we got from the government, produced root mean square error of 10 liters, out square of 98%, and data set where there is no water network produced a root mean square error of 83 liters and out square of 5 liters. Thus, the data set where there is no water was validated. And then number 3 is to model volume of water consumed and compare model performances. The four models perform beautifully well with those results, and then the test carried out on them show that there is significant difference in model performance during dry season and wet season, and of course that there is no significant difference in model performance between human equation and machine learning models. Thus, the machine learning models were validated. Number 4, we predict volume of water consumed where there is no water network. And then we find that the residuals, that is the difference between the actual volume consumed and the predicted volume consumed, residuals, is less than 1% for many of the models. That's the best performance. And then we have multiple regression that produce this percentage of 0.03%, percentage. And then the earlier work I mentioned, which was done by Water and Sanitation in Urban Program, got us well 30%, but we are getting up to 90% squared. Finally, the 5th objective is to examine influence of the spatial features on model performance. We saw that inputting those spatial features in machine learning models improves the performance of the models considerably. And the test carried out also confirmed that the improvement was significant. In conclusion, this study used combination of geospatial technology and machine learning technique to model water consumed by poor urban households and examine influence of geospatial features on model performance. The work shows that the combination of geospatial technology and machine learning techniques give high accuracy in predicting water consumed, and that including geospatial features in machine learning modeling improves model performance. 4 machine learning models were implemented and they were found to perform even better than normal equation. 2 contributions to knowledge we have here. The first one is that we established a novel way of accurately predicting volume of water consumed by poor urban household where there is no water distribution network. This information is useful for extending water network to poor urban household. And number 2, the study established that geospatial features such as travel time, certain distance, and high difference are factors that improve performance of machine learning models. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I think now we spend around 17 minutes. So that might be a fair one, but then let's try to make it 15. So the floor is open for comments. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Presenter. Yes, I think before I even go on, I want to make a general comment that I gave misleading information here. It was when we are in APC again, we review it, and the one that I said that in your thesis, the thesis can read, the text can be chapterized with figures. You know, I made that comment the other time. The thesis, inside the text, the figures can be chapterized, figure numbers can be chapterized. The equation numbers can be chapterized. And the figures, yeah, all of them can be chapterized. But when it comes to this 40 documents, so that one has to be continued from number one. So I have to clarify that. So, are you with us? Yes, it's a good one, it's a good attempt. It's still a work in progress. You know, everything here is actually within the how the test is going to go. But when it comes to 40-page document, that's why I try to explain what I explained. You know, this is not in line with that 40-page document at all. You have to make sure you have document at just 40 pages because this is actually far. You understand? So whatever summary you want to do, you have to summarize it and let it be within the content of what you want to be there. In your page 2, I don't just know whether we are playing here. You are just trying under your abstract. So are you trying to write that? Who are you trying to impress?
Not to remove it.
Because I'm just saying that it's not a textbook. You are not doing what you want to do. Just you are writing something, the quotation. Yeah, that is what your work. So your abstract is your abstract. So don't mix it up with anything.
Yes.
Let me just go to the last part of okay, I saw what you presented. You were able to tabulate properly your summary of finding. What we have here, you tabulate. You tabulate it in line with your set objectives. And let's see what you have as your summary of findings. And the summary of findings, when you presented, you were trying to be using bullets to represent, you know, for easy reference. It's better. Can you go to that? So don't worry, listen that don't waste time. Yes, I think I'm trying to say that in that one, those bullet points that you are using to all these define this now, then give them like maybe Roman numbers, Roman numerals. Just not to say that we are talking about of 34, we are talking about figure 1 of it, 1 or 2, so it's reference. So that we say. Then your contribution to knowledge. Think the same thing. Okay, before that, recommendation that you are putting here, like I said in last seminar, please, your recommendation, let's see how we put it within summary. I mean, within the conclusion, let it be, the conclusion is too late here. The conclusion should just be brief, just like what you presented. So, your contribution to knowledge, I look at it, it's two-worded. You know, this is actually the main work. And that is this what your external examiner is going to be writing down or something. So you should make it as brief as possible without losing the tension on the content. What you think to write. Yeah, sorry, I have to take us back. Okay, before I go back in, your references, I just think we have a page reference. Are you, and many things are inside here that you decided you must give this then the reference list.
Okay, sir.
A good example is this page 9 that I am now. This WWAP 2015A that you cited. It's not there on the reference list.
Okay, sir.
So everything you can cite it, then you go to list them. Your reference list. Then definition of terms. Don't try to do operational. So this thing. Definition of terms. Just okay.
Okay, sir.
That because I can't define of terms. That's what you have. And I said that SERMINAR study should be put in a closed form. Put in a closed form instead of numbering them.
So I think that's
Closed form don't mean that write them block a paragraph.
for which one, sir?
SERMINAR study.
Okay, sir.
No, you are numbering them.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
For your chapter 4, you're saying presentation and the analysis of results. The presentation will not be, you surely present your results. For this side of that is it's not a good nomenclature in the other. So I think others should make comments. Thank you. I am the name if you
Yes. Number one, do we accept funding? I don't know. Who wants to submit
funding or what?
candidates?
Why do you have funding?
No, that's
Your certificate, how many names are there?
There are three. Three, sir.
Please, so don't conflict it now.
Hold on, sir. Mr. Taiwo, let us sure.
Yes.
Is this your official name?
Yeah, answer the question.
Yes,
He
answer
said
the
he
question.
has
The
three
reason I'm
names.
asking is because we have had
Yes, sir.
similar thing in the past.
What is on the
On
certificate?
other certificates, even best certificate, other certificates.
That's
What is not there that is here is the O.
Don't put what is not.
Yes.
Can I just quickly add this? The letter of admission. What name? Admission. So that was.
That's what I mean by certificate. So please, then email, phone number is not acceptable. Write your degree, the year, BSc, maybe survey, MSc, the school, the year.
Okay, sir.
So this is your title page. Many things are wrong there. So what I said is for you to check the PG format. Because I know this is not degree. Even your title is not a small letter. To be capital letter. Then I quickly look at the objectives because that is the beginning of the work. The objectives are not pungent. I just like it just say handle. Number one, you say to identify and select explanatory variables. What do you mean by that? Your objective now on your page 8. So what do you want to achieve by identifying variables?
The variables, those are the factors that determine when water being consumed.
Because I've also noted that the objectives are just stated like that. I think we just need to cast it.
It must be.
But
then we understand his intention.
So that we know what
Then
to
we
do
now
now.
see what.
So what do you want to achieve by objective 1?
There are factors, sir, that determine when water being consumed. Those factors are the variables that want to identify the literature.
And it is now is saying nothing. It's just saying nothing. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So model water consumption, where there's, I think supervisor sit down with you. Then the way you are writing, you have to state the objective properly. You say in order to model, that is not the leading. That is not the leading in objective.
Actually, I noted
That's not the leading.
all the total said across everything now.
You will have said the objectives of this research or of this work or thesis are to in the leading. Then you can now put. Then I think it's not Arabic numerals, no Roman numerals. I, and then like that.
All right, sir.
Huh?
All right, sir.
So I just scanned through the team. Then I quickly went to your contributions to knowledge. The contributions is your thesis itself. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So if you are saying you have contributed only 2 things, if at the exam they match you to 1, that means you have done nothing. You don't understand what, at least bring up 4. Then by peradventure we debate we match you to 3. And let him put more than they require. So there's possibility of fusing. So if they so then there are 2 verbose. Before you finish one, you are tired already. There are things that can capture somebody's attention.
Yes, sir.
Not more than 2 lines, but the things that are very weighty, that are not contestable. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
And the easiest way is to look at the objective review. Okay, objective 1, how far have I done? What has it done differently from what has been existing? Because you must bring novelty to this work. To show that you are filling a specific gap in the body of knowledge. Are you getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So your contribution and not contribution, contributions to knowledge. It's not only 1.
Okay, sir.
The title.
Okay, sir.
But yeah, it's not correct. So it's too wordy. We have to shrink it and make it very, very catchy.
Okay, sir.
So that anybody cannot contest it and say, this thing has been done somewhere before.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So I think those are the things I've just seen. Within a few minutes, if I've been here for like 10 minutes, I would have done more. At least let other people talk.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll go back to that aim and objective.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, when you set out to do this research, what actually do you have in mind to achieve? At the end of the day, this is where I'm concluding this research to. Well, what is it?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I lived among these people in Amaraba for some years, and it pained me the way they didn't have access to clean, portable water, and that was spent so much money buying water. That was the motivation. And I wanted to find out how easy we could, how possible it is. What do we need to extend water from the other end, other town, to this town? And so I went to this.
Then that is your aim. The aim is not just to predict volume. Look at what you said now. That one captures it more. That to provide a way of access
Use for mankind, something.
Yes. When you say predict volume, if you predict the volume, what else do you want to get? I don't know where you're getting it. To say that it is not, the aim is not even. Look at that aim. Look at objective 2 and 3. They capture the aim. Aim is the destination, which you just said now, just explain now. To have access to clean water. Maybe you want to provide a means for them to have access to clean water. To predict the volume of water they need is part of the objective to get that game done. So this is not aim. It is objective. That's why you even put it again. And thank you, sir. That's why you put it in number 3 and number 4. Because it's an objective. And if you go back to your title.
Look at the title again. It said modeling water consumption. I don't have a problem with that though. But I think if you model the water consumption, I don't know if you are getting it. So although when you get to APC, they will help you when you present, they will help you with findings. When you present, they want to listen to you, what you are saying, and help you to refine it. So sometimes we title PhD topic as if we are writing paper.
Yeah.
That's the problem. This paper is not PhD topic. Modeling can be in a PhD, like modeling is in my own. But there's a way you write it that you are solving a problem. That title must be pointing at something. But this one is pointing at academic. I don't know if you are getting me.
Then, sorry.
Yes, sir.
The supervisor of peace,
Okay.
the same department, 3. The PG school will drop 1. Because while they accept 3, with the stringent condition that expertise, that person is coming with massive expertise from another place, not within you. If it is within you, they will knock off 1. That PG school will accept.
Yes, unless you have to have a code.
No,
what you are saying is that. What you are saying.
Remember,
No, what you are saying is that that is how it is actually. But I'm saying that maybe somebody now say that maybe 2, maybe they have been doing it before. Maybe the third one now just come. Maybe the third one now just come. And the experts of the third one, they just want to
ask them to decide how big 2 of them that will drop. They will be the lead. Then the 2 will decide which one will drop. So that please, so I agree among yourselves.
Then you put the position. If the supervisor is not a professor, you put the status at the front.
Put the status.
Now, sorry, there is something in the abstract I saw. But before I ask the last question, you said only 1 was found that did such study. I know what you are trying to say. Maybe I should just. You are trying to say that in everything you have done, it's only 1 person that did. I said only 1 was found that did such study among poor urban households. I don't know. You have to recast that, please.
Okay.
You are asking to explain.
So it's not. Yes. Now, imagine small issue. Machine learning techniques and the geospatial technology, they are based on data, right? It's not possible, and you gather data, right, sir? It's not possible to develop your own code instead of using all these codes, because this is a PhD work for 3 years.
Are you sure it is code?
That's like this, sir. I coded everything myself, sir.
No, you said you use machine learning.
Yes, the techniques,
The techniques,
coding.
the text of the coding
Yes, sir.
is based on machine learning.
Exactly.
That's what because I know there are some of them that they have this machine learning software. They have this software that some people have developed. They will just put their data there. Yes, that's what they do.
No, some are doing the software.
They are playing with it. Before you know it, he will tell you that he did the work for 3 years. If you give an MSc student that is well knowledgeable in machine learning, you will finish that work in 1 week.
And now, yes.
The same work is did for 2 years. Yes.
No, just the system code now, just to feed in data.
So that is where it is. You will go with it though. If you present before even people that they are into research, they will just allow you to go because that's what you say you do. But for your own development, self-development, it's not a good thing for PhD for someone to be using software. And your PhD is even in modeling. If it's going on an experiment now, we can pardon you that you just use the software to look at what you did on the experiment. But if your PhD is in modeling, and now use one software, is I don't know if you have already trained yourself. It is when you finish, you will see the impact on yourself. So that's what so it's a good thing if you have already developed your software. Thank you. God bless.
Let's Thank you for your previous contributions. Thank you, the presenter.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Maybe I will start with the topic, or maybe I will also leave it since I've been told that the PG committee will help you to.
No, if you can look at it, if you haven't to add.
They did they will give him a bit beyond his power.
No, other than that, somebody can come back for another 3 minutes or something.
We can be friendly here.
If we can.
I don't know if
So proposed topics we can look at together and see how it flows. But as it is now, it's like a journal topic. So the TC let the topic be.
That's number one. Just as has been noted also, the aim, the current form, but it cannot justify the contribution to knowledge that you have stated at the end of the work, because the aim will bring out the thesis, and if you have just stated it this way, there is no thesis in what we have here currently. So we need to work on that. The aim should not be stated, the objective should not be stated like task. That is the current state that we have. In your validation, I have a little challenge with that. You base your judgment of the performance of the models on R-square. I think R-square should be the least that we should use. You have made the main absolute error, you have RSM media, you have other metrics that you determine here, and base your judgment on R-square. The variation in the data may not be the absolute judgment to use in this case to determine the performance of the models. So I want us to look at that one again, because the R-square will suggest is the best may not actually be the best, but because you have based your judgment on the R-square, you will be given a wrong judgment. Then under your hypothesis, you're writing your null hypothesis in plural, and I was wondering why you writing it that way. At this one, null hypothesis.
I'm sorry.
So, but the alternative is, if you look at another one also, you repeated the same error. Then in the p-value, this one is honestly too long. I think you can shorten that one. For example, now the one of e raised to power minus 5, and this one can literally be 0 instead of this e raised to power the 12 this thing. That would not be necessary. So I think we should look at that. Then put here, you talked about the accuracy of your prediction, and I was wondering that I didn't see justification for that high level of accuracy, and I asked that, how did you establish that high level of accuracy which you claim you have obtained in the work? And the level of accuracy also is not stated. How high? So these are the few points noted here. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Can you respond?
Yes, to that, please. The accuracy, sir. I use residuals. That's the difference between the actual and the predicted. And you can see the actual here, for instance, is 391,230, and the residual is 125. So the percentage is this over this, that's 100% for this particular model. And for each of them like that. And you can see that for this is 7%, and for normal equation is 13%. So it's the residual over the actual times 100%.
Sorry, sir. You put percentage on the residual there, Abi?
Yes, sir.
So remove all the percentage.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So let it just be number since you are 2%.
It's okay.
Then two, your table must not have many lines. This is not a standard table.
No, not.
It's not a standard table.
The
first
the
line
title and
this side, the other one blank, no line.
Okay,
In the
the
middle, no line.
horizontal lines.
Yes, no line.
the vertical, horizontal.
And all the table that they are not standard table. No line.
No line in
No
between.
line. The top, the title and the end.
Those are the ones that have line.
Every other
Maybe
shape.
like the last one now. There'll be a line to break the festival or something.
Yeah.
The other one,
But there's no
Not
line.
in boundary.
Understand?
No boundary. No, I mean, it will be extreme boundary, not.
No boundary lines like this. Oh.
No,
boundary
I'm not
line.
talking about vertical. No.
No, it's what you are saying is easy. We can get.
Yeah, in exam. They start.
You know, like
Not even below, the others make you want to show.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Even the one that is back, they are in bed, it's not be there.
Like this, like.
No, thanks.
That's not it. That's standard table.
That's your bar and you
That's standard table. So change all of them. That's it.
Thanks.
No, I will give you because the garbage.
with a line.
Your
You gotta put a
RMS
line.
and the house well.
For the RMS, I did MAE, RMSE, and house square. So we will drop the house square and use MAE and RMSE.
Why?
I feel the MAE and RMSE does not give percentage. I felt the percentage to measure the percentage. So I added that house square to it. Okay, sir.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I noticed that you have not really identified the problem. Now, across the road and a smaller community, people have access to water and they are being metered. While on the other side, there's no water. There's a reason for that. And I think we should be able to dig deeper and find out why governments having challenges in providing water from the other side. Is it a problem of topography? Or is it that the people will not pay? What actually is the issue? We need to identify that so that government will be able and then provide solution to that. So that government will be able to take action and solve that problem. And then in your results also, you need to also discuss it, not just show us the values on the table. You need to talk to those results that you have and explain those things and compare what you have or area where there is water distribution network and where there's no water distribution network. So those are my comments.
Thanks, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that first one. Anybody can ask?
Why don't you, can you respond to what?
Let me respond to Professor.
Because it's damage.
Yes, why the government is not extending water to that side? Well, from our questionnaires, we also ask and we try to find out whether people will be able to pay if eventually water is extended to them. We ask for what they call willingness to pay. So that could be a reason if they will.
No, you must not delete. No, you are saying that across this spectrum now, they are having water on this side. We are not having it.
Why?
Then why are they having it and we are not having it? So you should be able to know.
Just address that.
You are speculating it now. This is you are speculating.
Director was saying that, is it a topographic problem?
That's why it's trying to even just.
You understand? So.
You understand the geometry? I mean the topography of the place.
Well, if I can help the candidate responding to that. You know, with development in Abuja, I will side with pipe-borne water that has been an area where you classify as Abuja. This patch, we say it's not Abuja, that's what we call the outskirts of FCT. So readily they made some amenities available to the Abuja area, while the outskirts, that one will not be considered. So that's the main factor. But now with the what's it called? With the development of Abuja expanding also to the outskirts, that may now be the reason why government will have it. But primarily because that part is not Abuja, just like when you're talking about people in the Suleja now, like you say you have people before Suleja, they have well, this why Suleja. Suleja normally is a Niger state, but if you observe that most of the people living in Suleja, they will say they are living in Abuja, but they are not. So the same way, we're looking at people in Maraba, Masaka area, so maybe like Abuja, but part of them are in Nasarawa.
Yes, we understand that that's actually it's a good one, but as a study, yes. A study should be able to even propose, to help policy formulation of people the Abuja and this part. And you understand, so that's what we are really trying to let him begin to think like that. Abuleba was neglected at the time. They were neglected. They were concentrating in developing VI and all the stuff. So it was I think one last application, I don't know that, but it was able now to go to the inputs of us and do some road network or something like that. Do you understand now? So there must be a reason or something. I think he just want to really point out: is it orographic? Is it something topographic issues first? If we know it's that one, if we know it's not that one, then we know. Is it about policy formation not favoring that environment? Maybe become a population, this thing that we are saying now. So we really want to know what the problem is. It should come what he says. What is your even problem statement should be part of it. Really go to manage and find out that.
I am just thinking that in their place because they are poor. Their attention is not just
no, because they are poor, because they are poor, it should not be just in perpetuity now for them.
That's exactly why we say he may need to find out. What I'm saying is, the other area, the Kalbu area, is planned. The elites appear to be laid out. You are going to pay attention to them. These other ones, everybody live there, technicians and the rest of them. So you may not pay attention to one of them. But that's why I'm saying he may actually need to find out exactly what will be.
And this is actually the main thing we want to probe. I mean, the tests to be addressed. No, it should be problem solving to such an extent that it can even help policy formulation. We can see that and know something, and maybe we want to attend to that. We don't know. Document they don't get to it, so we don't know. But that document should bring out that and state it clearly and state how it will help and on.
The same problem is this one.
Sorry, I forgot something. Can you put your statement of opinion?
It's a red test. I think red test maybe annoying to offensive
to
this black place. I don't know. Where it is?
And it's maybe offensive to somebody just or something.
Sometimes we used to harass the girl. When you send paper like this, when you review, you answer his question, you put it in red. You are warning him, don't do best.
No, that's very common.
Okay. Yes. Okay, sorry.
But if someone want to do nonsense, we do nonsense. Send it back to you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, what is statement of opinion? I want to ask you before
the problem on the ground that you want to solve.
Is it the problem you want to solve or what has not been solved that you want to solve?
What can be solved?
I want to solve what they have been solved. So self is not what you want to solve. Is what they have not solved that you want to solve.
Yes.
The gap. It's not just what you want to solve. You might want to repeat something that somebody has done, so it's not problem statement.
Reinventing the wheel.
And now, if and look at it, it says statements. So we look at what you have. Is that statement or statements? And the statement, look at the statement 3. So that is objective.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting my point. It's a statement I wanted to point at that time. Now, you have a way of casting, especially 1 and 2, in one statement. So bullet it. And don't itemize it. And please, PG squeeze, going back to the old days, 32 words per slides. That was our last meeting. If you count what you have here now.
The emphasis is very clear on that.
Don't let them fail you. 32 words per slides.
Don't manage slide. Go and use what slide you need to.
So they have been looking away for some time, and now they are going back. So let it be one statement. Capture it in one statement, not bullet. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I hope
If I can add a little to this problem statement, because to me now it's like this is explaining the problem he is solving here. Unlike where you have the presentation you made, where you were talking about sustainable development goals and this thing. So your problem statement can come from that SDG goal that you have identified. What is the problem generally, if not addressed? And that is what we want to address.
Okay.
So I think we want to look at it from that direction. Thank you.
Don't state that those aspects that we are mentioning are very important things.
This difficulty you pointed out this week. He said, thus, it is difficult to gather a prerequisite. How do you overcome it?
We use questionnaires, sir.
You use
Questionnaires. We went to site and interviewed the people.
when something is difficult.
And then the way questionnaire, there's a way that once something is not in laboratory experimental work and question people, we have some people that have a biased mind. Yes. Into questionnaires and people say that can't be that. You know, the people ask in terms of segmentation, different questions about that. We have to really build up.
We noted that in our delimitation, sir.
It's not a limitation. It's not saying difficult. We can use another thing. The data gathering is involving. That's difficult. Once you say difficult,
when you say it's difficult, then how are you able to surmount it? Because you are now giving, we say use questionnaire. So nobody has used questionnaire before, and nobody has been able to solve that questionnaire. Because of that, you don't need to be very.
yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Before we so I want to suggest whether this title no, it's a title. Don't go to it because we are talking about referring. See, most of the time in the olden days, if your title is not having some strong technical terms that you need dictionary to go and search, they say you are not doing PhD.
Yeah.
But we are used to that.
It's still that, sir. It's still that. All we are saying, sir, is that the fact that what we have stated as title now, it should be everything that the student will be sending.
there is nobody about those using this. They are okay with those. Those are the technical part of it.
Yes.
But that beginning, like modern water consumption, you can throw question in somebody's mind.
If you not modern water
consumption, what do you see?
So I want to suggest
Because it's too so simple, like the mother are going to consume water. What is
am I not be drinking water?
That's why I say if you can explain what you said.
Can we look at this?
Okay, sir.
Solving water consumption challenges. Urban policing the restriction. machine learning techniques.
Okay, sir, can we use another one instead of that one?
Now you know.
So let me see where it looks very light. But let's look for something.
Well, that's what. No, we have to change the one. But one of time, even give us net PC, the head will be up.
Modeling is more appealing than some. Okay, sir, the topic again, I like it.
And then solving water consumption challenges of the urban poor.
So we can still use even modeling, but we must know the implication. We must know the implication of after now using modeling.
I'll suggest we patiently review the topic and just.
Okay.
We want their inputs.
No, they may not
We want their inputs before they go. That's it.
But if there's something that we use for instead of that solving, is going. The topic is hitting the thing. The only thing we need to change now is that solve. A word that is big and technical that one is even better.
Okay. So thanks a lot for the contributions. Mr. Yila, the floor also.
So it's your ability that of work collect for others. Some of all those things are automated, and then get ready as soon as possible.
Now you also have 15 minutes. It's 11:20.
How should the laptop be so it doesn't affect your eyes?
So this is one answer. You have the floor.
Is it the cable? But you are still connected to your own system. Okay. That means you have to leave it there.
Okay.
Are you connected your system to it? It's not this SERMINAR III, October 2023. Which one? This one. This one. Yeah, this one.
It would be nice we start using our own system, one system, instead of everybody taking their life. You have a system for you to.
I don't know if machine learning techniques is a training in something, because since I've been coming, last time I came, 2 people use machine learning. I don't know if it's machine learning. This person is using machine. I use the machine learning too.
No, sir.
Now, if they are having machine learning, it's not possible to have a departmental code, because if you can harmonize all of them, they will make life easier for the people coming. All these people working on machine learning, they can have a code developed in this department that someone does not need to reinvent the wheel. Because the way they are using it effectively is it can, because if they get their page now, they will go. Another person come again, start all over. I don't know, it's just a suggestion.
What was suggested, like some of the subjects that we're applying.
Yes, sir.
Are institution based.
That is it.
No continuity of
because some of those software we cannot afford them.
Yes.
And the one part of those software is that if you go and use them and you publish them, they will sue you. And one thing you don't buy from them.
Serious issue now. How do you not have access to it?
Yes. Now, I know that the code you develop can be replicated for something else.
Yeah.
So somebody will still come around and study, maybe in another area. You just follow.
No.
Please, there is a way you can use all these Java to make the thing user friendly and user interface, so that you make life easier for people coming after. I don't know. Yes, because there are about 3 of them now. Yeah. So they can form a group and harmonize all this. If you need flooding, there is something click takes you to the area, the environment. You put your data there, you analyze it, and it should be departmental based code.
And even with that's the way of doing internationalizing.
Yeah.
And everything.
So in fact, for example, somebody
Name of university.
institution say just data to process for you.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of commercial.
Yeah, even commercializing.
Well, actually discussed this thing because there was a year some set of people they came from Africa market their software. So and what have they come to do? Literally come to tell us that okay, we have software that you can use to do your DTM, where you can use to plot your maps and things like that. So which are some of the things also we have been doing. Those are the pointed out which we have not packaged.
Connect it together.
So but they have been able to manage their own and their marketing
Because I do that. I have software that once you plug in the data, it's going to give you the mathematical model.
Okay, it's
going to give you the mathematical model. It's going to plot it for you. Just a click in 1 second, and it's going to do table of comparison of results. The 3 together. It took me about 7 years, and I developed from my PhD. And it's not general, any data. It's not irrespective of the field. That's one. Then later, through my research group, we are able to develop software that can solve any differential equation. Just type it inside. It's going to solve, not that it's solving, it's going to solve it step by step. So you copy the solution and type it in your thesis.
As in it's your work.
As in, it's different from giving you result.
Yeah.
You will see the step solution to the end. You just type it.
Numerically.
It's even analytical. It's about any either linear or non-linear. It has DTM, HTM, ADM, any method. You just click on the method you want to use. It takes you to the environment. You type in your model, your boundary condition, your initial condition, it gives you the solution, then it plots for you. by instruction. So, although I've been saying I wanted to say it. So, from what I'm seeing here, all this machine, I'm not into it fully. But I can see that we can harmonize from MSc to PhD to make life easier and also to prepare for the department.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Good morning, the HOD, professors, my lecturers, and everyone here present. My name is Azande Ayila Emmanuel. I'm here to do a PhD Seminar 3 presentation titled An Optimization Technique for Optimal Reservoir Site Selection for Flood Vulnerability Control in the Benue River Basin, Nigeria. Floods occur when water submerge land and due to heavy rainfall or overflow of body of water such as lake or rivers. Flood control has to do with reducing the risks associated with flood and enhancing resilience for the purpose of addressing vulnerabilities in communities and infrastructure. Here, the International Organization for Migration provided a flash report of the flood situation in the investigated area. What makes it critical is the large population of people living in the study area and the economic implication of flooding. The Benue River Basin is prone to flooding, particularly during rainy season, causing damage to infrastructure, homes, and crops. It is a major concern because every year, a major part of the budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is allocated for internally displaced persons. So the challenge is the lack of thorough understanding regarding the impact of flood vulnerability in the study area. There is also lack of established criteria and decision-making framework that is necessary for selection of optimal reservoir sites to effectively mitigate the flood problem. Despite the availability of different theoretical approaches in the field of reservoir, in the field of multi-criteria evaluation for reservoir site selection, there is still a primary challenge of an optimized approach in finding the weights for the appropriate factors. The aim of this study, therefore, is to develop and implement a novel flood management and optimization technique for the identification of reservoir sites for mitigation of flood risks and vulnerability in the Benue River Basin. The specific objectives are to design and implement a data collection framework to collect all relevant data such as rainfall and discharge to characterize and model the Benue River Basin flood vulnerability and control. Identify and model the key basin characteristics of the study area for the purpose of understanding vulnerability. Assess the different level of vulnerability to flood within the basin based on the basin characteristics and rainfall dynamics previously determined. Determine the optimal criteria and decision-making framework that is required for selecting reservoir sites to mitigate flood risks and vulnerability in the study area. Utilize particle swarm optimization technique to determine the optimal location for flood control reservoir based on the developed criteria and decision-making framework. Perform ground verification for potential environmental impact and baseline information, as well as delineating and characterizing the optimal reservoir location for visualization, planning, control, and policy formulation. The study area is as presented in Figure 2. The area is in the upper Benue River catchment, northeast Nigeria. significance of the study are as follows: improve knowledge about the River Benue and the livelihood within it, information for flood control to improve livability and food security, as it also serves as decision support for strategic flood management initiatives. A number of multi-criteria decision-making models have been proposed for solving real-life problems. Table 1 captures the strengths and weaknesses of some of the multi-criteria decision-making model. For example, the simple additive weighting as strength is simple to calculate. There's no complex computer program involved in it. And by way of weakness, the result may not be logical. The analytical hierarchical process is easy to use, it is scalable, and it is not data intensive, but is associated with the problem of difficulty to derive strict ratio from pairwise comparison matrix. This study, a combination of fuzzy-based AHP and particle swarm optimization is proposed in this preference study due to their functionality and capability. Now, in the context of developing pairwise comparison matrices, the strength of particle swarm optimization will be employed. Both primary and secondary data were sourced in this study. Table 2 captures the data collection framework. Rainfall and precipitation data were collected for the purpose of modeling and understanding rainfall pattern and dynamics. Elevation data was gathered in order to understand the topography of the basin. Also, baseline data was collected for the purpose of understanding environmental conditions of the site, the identified site, and also identifying potential impacts on communities downstream and upstream. Figure 3 shows a general approach for the study in 3 phases: data acquisition, modeling and mapping, and validation assessment. On the modeling and mapping, it is presented in 3 stages: basin characteristics for understanding vulnerability. Rainfall and discharge data collected for in this study were used for trend analysis, seasonal variation, as well as correlation analysis in using spreadsheets. Rainfall intensity was computed using the Kumbe approach, and intensity duration frequency curve was constructed. Estimation of seasonal, random, and trend component for the discharge was determined using the classical multiplicative model first proposed by Pearson in 1919. Digital elevation model, Landsat, and precipitation data were used to map the land use type, topography, and the spatial pattern of rainfall in standard remote sensing and GIS. Flood vulnerability level, stage 2, flood vulnerability level. And ancillary data and satellite data were used for physical flood vulnerability in this study. Data processing was carried out, pre-processing was carried out in GIS environment. Criteria identification was done using the Delphi method, and then the pairwise comparison matrix and weighting was done using AHP, and the flood vulnerable zone were also mapped in GIS. Land use, land cover, soil precipitation, digital elevation model, and discharge data were subjected to hydrological modeling for the purpose of constructing permeability levels of the study area and flood peak zones at varying flow rates using HEDRAS, GIS, and HEDJORAS software environment. And in stage 3, the optimal reservoir location for flood control, which is the nature-based solution, digital elevation model, satellite, Landsat, criteria were defined using the Delphi method. Thematic layer were processed in GIS, and then weighting was done using particle swarm optimization. Multicollinearity diagnosis was conducted using variance inflation factor and tolerance, and aggregation was done, and stability model was modified to arrive at the final location. Ground verification of the candidate site was conducted, particularly to gather information on baseline condition was acquired, potential impact and mitigation measures, and site delineation. Results and discussion. Summary statistics and trend of monthly rainfall is presented in Table 3. Rainfall generally appears to increase between the month of June to September, and mean peak of 363 millimeter occurred in June. Trend analysis conducted indicated that rainfall exhibited an increasing trend slope would be equal to 0.2, 0.4, 0.9 respectively in the month of June, September, and October. Low values of coefficient less than 10% were also observed, as well as low values of Mankendel coefficient, and this happens particularly during the rainy month, which is suggestive of the influence of localized factors such as topography rather than the global time-detected pattern. Based on the rainfall data analyzed, a notable strong correlation R equals to 0.73 between rainfall and discharge underlies a rapid rainfall discharge response, suggestive of the infiltration excess overland flow akin to Hortonian flow. Also, regression analysis for both a simple linear and logarithmic analysis explain 93% of the changes in annual discharge, suggesting a direct relationship. Table 4 shows the peak discharge for estimated return period and flood warning and danger threshold mark. The findings indicate that the return period for 10 years, 25 years, 50 years, and 100 years exceeded the warning threshold mark of 3,200 meter cube per second at Gimeta and 4,300 cubic meter per second at Newman. The summary statistics of selected factors of flood vulnerability are captured in Table 5. It indicates that elevation ranged from 127 meter to 922 meter with mean of 389 and standard deviation of 325. Slope increased up to 56 degrees in the investigated area. High values of coefficient of variations were observed, which indicate the heterogeneous catchment characteristics and spatial variability. And the implication is that the catchment exhibits a wide range of land uses, soil types, and topography, and these differences can influence vulnerability parameters, resulting to variability in vulnerability in the investigated area. Figure 10 shows the flood vulnerability map and the area extent in B across the basin. Low vulnerable area occupy 19.9% and very high vulnerable area occupy 16.9% as presented. Peak flow analysis as a result for location prone to flood shows that at 50% annual accident probability, 8 localities are highly prone to flood, and at 10%, 11 localities. And in a worst case scenario, there could be 1% annual accident probability and more localities are expected. And in figure 12, we show the flood control reservoir site suitability map with string. And the reservoir sites identified in this study, R1 to R11, as presented in the map. And in figure 13, the study captures the visual presentation of some of the potential reservoir sites. And these were some of the locations that were visited during the assessment. Table 17 shows the characteristics of the optimized locations or sites, the local government where they are found, the coordinates, and also the closest settlement to each of the points as presented. The result indicates that surface area range from 201 hectares to 784 hectares, while the capacity range from 330,508 cubic meter to 29,751,822 cubic meters. Summary of finding. Objective 1. Data collection framework developed for the actualization of reservoir site selection for flood vulnerability control in the Benue River Basin. 2. Rainfall pattern was established with seasonal variation, annual average of 927 millimeter, monthly peak of 194 millimeter in August. And Hortonian flow pattern was observed based on correlation between rainfall and discharge. There was a significant fluctuation in the river discharge with peak values in September. 3. Vulnerability assessment shows low vulnerability at 9.8%, moderate 31.4%, high 31.8%, and very high at 16.8%. Vulnerability to flooding emerged as more pronounced in areas with annual exceedent probability of 50%, extensive land exposure, and limited soil storage capacity. For objective 4, 9 optimal criteria for flood control reservoir selection were established. For 5, this research have identified 11 optimal locations for flood control reservoir siting. Objective 6, the candidate reservoir site have the following attributes: capacity 330,509, ranging from to 29,751,823 meter cube, and surface area of 201 to 784 hectares. The potential impacts include reduction in availability of river water to downstream community, loss of crops, riverbed erosion resulting from artificial surge of the reservoir water. And there is also increase in moisture in the land around the proposed reservoir area could occur, and the reduction from nutrient sediment transportation and its attendant effect on agriculture is also a potential impact. So this study has shed light on the pressing issues of flood management in the Benue River Basin. The study concluded that the flood occurrence in the study area is linked to rapid rainfall runoff relationship that defines the infiltration excess or Hortonian overland flow, which can be addressed with optimal location of reservoir sites in the area. The contribution to knowledge are as follows. The study developed an optimized technique for identifying reservoir sites for flood mitigation in the Benue River Basin. The study established optimal criteria for flood control site selection. Here are my references. And from this study, we have 4 publications as presented. Thank you. Let me also note that I have received input from some of the professors that my work was sent to in the faculty. And one of the professors suggested this as the topic. I just felt I should show it because when I collected the booklet, so I don't know whether he's here today. So I just felt I should show it as a suggestion. And he also made some other input, which I have also noted. Thank you very much.
So you're welcome. So this 1148 started at 11:30, supposed to stop 11:45. 3 minutes went extra. So please, let's take note of this because at PG school, you are just with your 15 minutes. So the floor is open for. I should start from this side. Prof is in now, sir. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, well done. I want to appreciate it. Anytime the student is presenting, we try to be googling and go to Google and get it. So I've seen papers. So I am actually I appreciate that because I've seen it. I've seen your papers here. As I was actually just trying to go because we try just to reduce that to really know whether what the student is saying is correct. But can you explain to me your statement of problem? What's the problem?
The problem in the study area is that there is flood challenge in the area, and
no, the area is prone to flood during rainy season.
Yeah, it's prone to flood during rainy season, but there is lack of an optimized approach to address the problem of flooding, which.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, this study is proposing selecting reservoir locations or identifying reservoir locations to control flood, where flood that can be used for flood control. Yes. So that's what I mean by that, sir.
Yes, it's not satisfactory. I'm still talking about the problem, or it's just that one to be able to have that reservoir.
No, what we are saying is that there is lack of knowledge about the impact of vulnerability in the area. That is one of the key problems in the area. Lack of.
No, wait.
Yes, sir.
It's very commonsensical.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very commonsensical for me to know.
Okay, sir.
That during rainy season.
Yes.
Let's say maybe August, September. That environment is going to be prone. I know that one. So I'm not saying that with this your study, what is this study bringing on board? Although you are trying to explain that Samoa aspect of it.
Yes, what the study is bringing on board is that the flood. There's a lot of people. There is a lot of population living in the study.
Don't let me put pressure on you.
Yes, sir.
So now return in the way people will be offended.
Okay, sorry, sir.
I'm not putting pressure on you.
No problem.
You know, be teaching me as if I don't know.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Go to your
contribution.
Look at this second one.
The study established optimal criteria for flood control site selection.
And you're not saying something. Even this statement is actually just saying it. Yes. This small statement, as even this one line. In fact, that's your external examiner. That's what's going to write. This. And in fact, this one there's always knowledge about. Give number 2, we tell you to go and put number 1. Yes. So if that one goes to the next, it's going to be issue of I have identified that. I know that clearly.
Yes, sir.
Many students, it's very difficult for them to state their problem. Yes. To state what they are even doing. They don't know. So if you don't know what you are doing, how do you want to do? So that's why I want to start from post. Some with the topic, they will not get it, and they will not go and be working. You will see somebody working about 3, 4, 5 years without able now to know even the problem.
For you to maybe say this very clearly. What normally happens in that case is that when there is flooding, because of the topography, there is a long time inundation, which made the water to stay so long for a so long period of time. Okay, because it's trying to establish an optimal criteria Thereby, you get maybe side here,
Okay, what I can drain of you, no?
yes. So that's what he's trying to solve. So if you put it that way,
I think, yeah.
You was saying something else.
You are even saying,
Outside the point.
They were even trying to lead this.
Yes, I was leaving you.
So please, just master that aspect. So another commonsensical question again is the fact that what of that one that said that Cameroon will go down and go now, how is that overlapping each other?
Cameroon is far from there.
No.
No, they will put down. The other thing.
Yes. I said in my introduction that flood occurs due to heavy rain as well as overflow of body of water, and that relates to such scenario where excess water can be released from upstream to the study
the point
area.
is that whether what you are developing now should be able to even answer that point. No, that one maybe some plan for, but if it comes,
yes,
something like this no answer.
Yes,
that. No, that what if it's answering, that's what you are going to put in your argument. I'm not examining you. I didn't want.
What he's saying is that is this work addressing that as well?
I need to give you
that one as well.
Yes, it can be used. Yes, sir.
Your paper is not assessed, so I don't assess. I'm not going to. I didn't assess any. I'm not assessing. I'm only just asking some basic questions that you may even meet. Because like even that one is going to be additional this thing to you. That this work will be able to even assess that.
The problem is trying to solve is water inundation. One, as a result of heavy rainfall. Two, the dam in what's it called? Cameroon. When they release it flows down River Benue down to Lagos and causes a lot of flooding along that axis. So in order to actually capitalize on this excessive water, is trying to identify locations where there can be catchment areas, reservoirs where this water can be stored during that time of release of the dam, and also when there's heavy rain. So after that period, that water can be used for other things. So that's the problem it's trying to solve. Identify locations where this water can actually be stored and saved. In fact, the same problem is happening now.
That's very can you see how strong it is? I want to say this. Over there, you won't defend it.
No, you know, no, probably just say that is number one. It's stopping off point.
Yes, and identify the locations. Yes.
You see, Mr. Ayila.
Yes, sir.
The rule of presentation, there are three, and I want to keep it. That's what you are the one that you have heated yourself up.
Okay.
That's why when it comes to question and answer, you are failing.
Okay.
Talk slow. Talk low and don't say too much.
Okay.
Those are the rules. When you are presenting, you have already heated yourself up. Yeah. Now, questions are being thrown to you, you are off point. That your supervisors. Okay, yeah. So
I'm just trying to throw my
now, even the professor who understand, you mean that I'm not from this party, I will help you out because you said it. Now, he's asking you, I have to tell you that this is what you said. You please calm down.
You don't understand now. Don't put your.
You are pressurizing yourself.
That you have to understand.
He has already pressurized himself. So anything you ask now, I pray you should be able to answer.
You understand? I have annotated many things here actually.
Okay, sir.
But what we are just trying to let you know is the pointer you know the problem you are solving.
Okay.
Can you understand how it's explained the whole thing now?
I got it.
That explanation you give to anybody. If somebody sell your origin, maybe you are. I mean, the person will win it because the usage of that water, even after you have done that one, it can be used again. You know the others was not paying attention. No problem.
Tell him to repeat it.
No, it may not be able to. Please go and meet Prof. No, me, I can't. Not even me. Even me.
What did you say?
He was not paying attention. You were just carried away. Not to fail. You were carried away. Yes. You didn't hear what he said.
He was not paying attention. He was talking there.
You didn't hear what he said.
No, he was trying to tell me something here, so.
That's what I'm saying. At least I'm not good for that. I'm not good for that on that. At least I'm annotated many some things here. So your summary of finding, I think you tabulated in what you presented.
Yes.
So tabulated, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please make sure you tabulate your contributions and itemize your contribution to knowledge properly. Summary of this number 5. But summary of finding number 6. I say you are saying something that I mean they are known. They are not even common sense.
Okay.
You put that there. Sir.
Okay, this one. Yes, sir.
I go immediately into a form. I don't know. How would that one be summary of your finding?
No, around the dam area, if dam is constructed, you know, there will be.
No, I'm saying if something is not too serious and maybe no, you don't need to be saying a summary of finding.
Issue of moisture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not doing anything on moisture.
And now.
Reduction of nutrients,
Enough.
it's all in your work.
In fact, I want to actually get to this your objective. Make sure whatever you have not addressed in your work.
And now, do I not stating it?
Don't bring them up because they'll be asking you.
I want to tell you a story of one lady that came from APC. I mean to APC. You know the one that did about rat. You say they did rat breast cancer of a rat.
Yes.
And they say rat that is 6 weeks. Rat that is not mature. You are doing breast cancer. And now they're asking. What of even the menstrual sac of rat? He said the students don't know anything about menstrual sac. You go and be doing cancer work of a rat. That the rat is very small. And you know, so that's why you must understand your problem. That's what they almost fail. I mean, if she failed, she failed. You understand now because those things are very fundamental. You must understand fundamental. And so that's why like all the help now is very important.
Thank you, sir.
No, please, this is very important. Make sure you itemize this thing properly. They are actually doing well. They are doing well, but they must package it up.
If they ask you questions, well, I don't know why.
No, even this one is not as if he tried. No, he tried. But he presented well. But questions now is.
I think the fundamental issue have been raised by you.
Yeah.
That when you are presenting and your blood pressure is already high.
Yeah.
Like when somebody is asking you simple question.
No, I think that's the main reason in APC. We tell them to sit down, sit down, don't stand here. Sit down. Don't even face the ground. Just face one side and talking to him. Oh, you sit down now? Yes. They sit down. Why you're going to sit down? You sit down. You don't need to step up for it. So, please, just leave them to talk to those people.
Sorry, I want to.
Sitting down has been long.
I want to say something on the objectives.
Okay, sir.
You have 6 objectives.
6.
It's too ambitious.
Yes.
In fact, you will be just.
Yes.
How you will be able to achieve 6 objectives within that time frame. I'm not sure whether
Okay.
I think you should compress the objectives to 4.
Okay.
Noted, sir. Then state the objectives clearly. Just like the other one. They are everybody. Somebody will just use track when he's reading your objectives.
Okay, sir.
Like number 1 now. You are even repeating anything. Say to implement data collection framework to collect again and collect relevant data. Data 2 times, so rainfall and the child data 3 times. So somebody will just get lost.
Noted, sir.
So sit down, craft the objective very well, and compress them. You will discover that 2 objectives can match naturally.
Okay, sir.
So that you will have like 4 objectives. Then your formatting, there are no spaces between your sections of section, you are just clumping them together. Huh? That should be normal standard space.
Oh, okay, sir.
Huh?
Okay, sir.
So it's important. Then, I think the acceptable referencing style is APA. It's big useful.
Yes, sir.
So I checked some of them are not conforming to APA. So check again.
Yes, sir.
To be sure that your referencing conforms to APA.
Okay, sir.
Then this is the title page.
Okay.
I think the department should have a standard based on pages to standard. For the title page.
Okay.
Not this one is presentation. The report,
Okay, okay.
So your report title page will follow so that everybody in the department will use it the same. Then the title, I just check the title. You have to, there's still repetition also in the title. Optimization, optimal. Then you say and. Don't limit it, just let it be free.
Yes,
that and has limited the topic already. Are you getting it?
Noted, sir.
So let the topic be free. So that because they will ask, okay, if this optimization doesn't work, what happens to the others? Which is true. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So let it be free and very catchy. So optimization technique or server side selection, maybe flood vulnerability control in river basin, Niger river basin. Whether very rather. Yeah.
This is one suggested by
another
development of an optimization technique. Okay. On the server side. That and also is my worry. I don't want you to limit that. Just say optimization technique.
The problem is that grammatically that will not be correct.
Proper, is it not better to say development of optimal criteria instead of technique? Technique is a methodology. What you actually do is you are establishing a criteria. Yes. Don't be putting methodology as a topic. Is the criteria is actually going for to establish a criteria for the floor size control.
So, but you cannot develop a criteria. You cannot develop.
No. As instead of development. No, what I'm saying is that instead of
development will not be there.
Yes, it should be optimal criteria.
Yes, optimal criteria for the server side.
That's it.
That one is far better.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Optimal criteria.
So you see criteria that covers a lot of things. It's not one criteria you are looking at.
But then, sir, if we come down to that optimal criteria for the reservoir size selection for vulnerability control, does it make the title stronger or weaker?
Stronger. That you are solving a problem. Stronger than you are solving a problem.
The technique is a method. So you cannot say your thesis is don't. Are you getting? So after the method, what do you use the method for? Are you following? So you have developed a method. You cannot stay there. But if you say method, that means the thesis stays only a method. So what happens after what you say? So but if you make it more expanded, so normally
have developed a technique, series of techniques. You are now deploying that technique to arrive at a particular solution. Are you getting it? So, which is far more better?
The criteria determined, is plugged into a technique to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So it shows you the technique just a methodology to achieve it.
So because the when people read, as they are reading the topic, they can predict where your
Like this one now, it sounded, sorry to say sir, it sounds like mathematical.
Yeah, because your topic can also give you problem.
Okay.
Yes, sir. If you see optimization, what may come to my mind, I want to see rigorous
objective
modeling.
functions, constraints.
I guess it is so if you was complaining about modeling, I tell you what if you was saying modeling where you put push-up on your cup, coffee, you know it will give you for the energy and the centered garage. So if you say you optimize, people will be looking for rigorous analysis.
Objective function.
And if you just do the road now, so you have defeated the thesis title already.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir.
So you must be clever. You should be able to mimic the people that was you and ask the expression. If they go this direction, how will I act? Go this direction, how will I act? So don't box yourself in. So optimization is very massive. It involves practical, it involves theory, it involves modeling, mathematics. So you want to combine three things. That is three things on its own.
Yes, sir. Noted, sir.
So don't let people drag you to your topic to direction that is not palatable for you.
Let me out.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Lila. I update you number one. I have a serious problem with it. Go to your stay here, under that findings. You when you look at what you have presented, I can already see sign, especially sign that we should collect your data. But this cannot be allocated. I think you can just this will be out of define it. Data collection frame was developed for collection of the server side selection for this not defined. This might not be an appropriate.
He has 6 of them, so nothing
It's
one.
not, sir,
Nothing one.
the second one. The second one. You go to number 2. Look at this one. To identify a model. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
The key basic parameter. Look at the finding number 1.
No, that your objective number 1. Is there any data bank you pick?
Can I go back to that number 1?
Is there any data bank you pick?
Number 2.
I have a data collection framework which I showed in one of the tables there.
Did you create a data bank?
I created
It's different from collecting data.
Yes, I created a data collection
For
framework.
instance, now my PhD work, I got data, but I created data bank for the network of the country. So I don't know what you are saying here. What are you saying? It's just a collection, then you knock it off.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir.
Definitely. Yeah.
Number 1
Noted, sir.
You should look at what design and implement. Those two words
To collect.
The major problem, everyone that Everyone that you use, people can take care of.
No, it's still part of objective.
For PhD, I think collection of data is, anybody will, even on the right project.
No, it's still not objective one.
It's not an objective.
The problem is, I'm not in a problem, sir. I did not see the data. The data is saying, but I don't see it. Show me where you have the data. In all the presentation. No, here and on the board, no data.
This one is summary of the type of data you collected, but no sample data. That's
Okay.
Not so. Where is it? Where is the data?
No, it's not sure.
It's not here. It's not here. And it's our root.
it's an objective.
And it's an objective. It's part of what I noted here. You are coming to pick up the result. In fact, go to your result one. The figure in the result discussion. Sorry, are you done, sir? No, I have. Sorry.
And it takes more time.
Go to your figure one.
In that section,
I said go to figure one of your result.
Figure one.
No, not this one. Look at this one. It said annual mean discharge from 1960 to 2022 against mean annual rainfall. This, I was looking everywhere to find this data before you brought it.
Okay.
Not sure, I thought you put it in the slide that it's not here. Neither in the slide nor here.
Put a sample of it.
Okay, I have it in the appendix, but I don't.
When you see that you tell ABC that was in here.
No, sir. No, sir.
Put a sample of it. Don't create more problems.
Okay, now I will still come back to this. But let me start for what go to your slide 11. I first want to talk on the slide before I come to what you said. Now look at this. Review. Hello. Look at the title. Review of what? Then look at what you wrote under it. In the context of developing the business model, the strength of it will be employed. Is that it? Is that a methodology? You look at the first one too. Combination of this is proposed in this study. Is that it?
No, sir.
Yeah, something that can be proposed.
Sir, it's not that. No, he did the same thing in the report.
Okay.
It's not that he made mistake in the title. He did the same thing in the report. Let me go to chapter 2. In chapter 2, the first thing he wrote. Multi-criteria model are needful in this study. Under literature review. In this study, for selecting appropriate location, a large number of these has been proposed to solve it. We now say combination of so and optimal this. The combination will overcome. So it's under literature review. The first thing they put there is methodology. So it's not about the slide. It's mixed up everywhere.
Noted, sir.
Okay.
I don't know if I can make a comment on that.
Yes, sir.
I think under literature review, you can establish the method you want to use, because you have seen a gap in literature, and that will lead you to the problem you want to solve, and that is
Not at the top.
Not at the top. I understand what you are saying, sir. Please, after you have reviewed, you now conclude in that chapter 2 that this is the gap I'm using this. But the first thing he put to the literature review is what he wanted to do without you doing the review. He has already stated that this is what I'm doing. Either someone has done it before or not, this is what I want to do. Yes.
To review that we identify
the gap. So then, like 30 and 31. Like 30 and 31, I saw something there.
This 30.
Yeah, I think you have mentioned 31. This anything you put here must read what you are saying here. You said to identify and model. There is this first sentence does not have anything to do with identify and model. Okay. Now saying pattern was established. I don't know if you are getting me. Look at what you state here.
Okay.
Look at what you are stating there. I don't know if I'm making.
So the characteristic that exactly that's what your variables, the variables that you want to that you are talking about in each object will be actualized.
Yes, yeah.
It must be well known. Because those are your discussions.
So now I want to point something out.
Sorry, sir. These basic characteristics, what are they? The key basic characteristics, what are they?
The rainfall, discharge topography.
Then
And,
you name it, you just nip it at the board there.
And put the result there.
You put it, I mean, it's a mention, don't let anybody.
Put it, it's as if you are stating contribution.
You understand?
It's a contribution to is what you are stating, not findings.
Okay.
You understand? I mean, don't waste time with those.
Noted, sir. I will report it, sir.
So I'm even thinking that the basic characteristic is referring to actually the structure that I thought that's what it.
So he has defined them in his work. They are very good.
Now, among many optimization techniques, why did you use particle swarm?
Yes, I use particle swarm optimization because in some report, in some previous study, they noted that particle swarm optimization is a kind of is easy to use, and there are existing models for it. So that was why.
Yeah, all of them, they have existing model. You must justify why you prioritize particle swarm and why you use it. You have the butterfly, you have the honeybee. Why do you use particle swarm? You have many of the colonies. Why do you arrive at this one? You must justify your method. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying you are wrong. You have reason why you choose it. Somebody can come up and use a better one.
That was what you stated after that review of literature, which took you up on. And you should know this.
Now, you must justify your method. Somebody will come, you are selling a product to us. You are not selling it well. So,
I was just adding that to say it is easy as a reason for you to use.
You want to
go with the law. You have said it now. That was the meaning of that. So,
if it is easy and it's not accurate,
if something is easy to use, good is it by doing it. There are some that are easier. You understand? Than the particle swap. So you must justify it, as in use something technical to justify it. You are selling the products.
I think one of the best justified way.
Yeah.
You can select about maybe 5 or 10 of these. You can put just use a bit of your data on it and look at the students of the result.
But from literature review,
from your online, it is there. The statement is there online. Why particle swap is better?
Will not be necessary.
So I expect you to tell me. If you type it now, advantage of particle swarm optimization techniques, they will give you. It's available over other.
This is your own justification for using it.
Yes. Okay. Now, sorry. Actually, you can't the statement of problem. You can't the statement of problem.
Okay.
How I get it? Because you have been about 2 here. So then there is a particular something you remove your statement of problem. When you finish, you now say this framework should involve community participation under the statement of problem. You are telling them what they should do now.
Okay.
I don't know. I get it. Yeah, after you have said that it is crucial to establish a modern and contextual relevant framework for site selection. I agree with you on that. That's the statement of problem. Then you now say you are now providing solution. This framework should involve community participation, use of advanced technology, a multidisciplinary approach to ensure what concerns that. That one is not your work. That one should be maybe your recommendation.
Okay.
Agree?
Noted, sir.
Okay. And go to your aim. Please, can you just remove that develop? Just leave it as to implement.
Okay, sir.
Because before you implement, you must have what? Develop.
But with a change in the title, this may be more defined.
So don't just say develop and implement. So then please, Prof said something the other time. Reduce your objective to 4. Please. It's too much. Then in that chapter 1, as is in this report, please take this study area under methodology. It's not part of chapter 1. Okay. Study area, where you say 1.6 study area. Okay. You should go to methodology. Okay, sir. It's part of your work now. So don't put it as chapter 1. You are putting under limitation of the study. No.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because I've said this thing before.
Yes, sir.
That study area should come under methodology. And they said the PG format, and they gave us the format that study area should come under chapter 1. So I'm happy that this one.
Thank you, sir. You know, when you do work on data analysis, know that by the time you start with population, you start with sample size. You know, they're under chapter 3. Yeah. That sample size is study area. So it's sample size. It's size is study area. Abi?
That's where the methodology is starting from.
Yes. So it's not under the limitation of the study.
Many things you explained that as we've migrated from the old style to current something. Yes. That might be the old one.
I think there are some things that are unwritten rules which we normally fight after student defense they go. We start fighting. There are some unwritten rules in PGs that are written. So, and those unwritten rules, the superior people want their own to stay because that's what they do in their department. But because we're having new set of people now, we argue it out that this is how it should be. For example, all this format that we are following here now, mathematics don't follow it. They don't have graph. They will just prove and end this thing. Yes, no result sometimes. They just prove after the proving. Immediately they end the proving, they say it has come back. It is this, that is it. But they still have their something of fighting to a contribution. But so their theses are funny. So we cannot enforce them to follow.
I just about this something. We should have the format.
Sir, another thing again, the law, they don't have format at all.
Because we have format for different faculties. We used to have.
And that's what we are saying now. Sorry, today we are having APC for examination. Tomorrow now we are having joint APC. Or APC there are 2. Science and knowledge. The joint APC now is all these things that we have been arguing. We want to argue everything now. And that is tomorrow meeting. So that we can have standards. So if you want to say, so faculty, this is your standard. This one is your standard. Hey, let us know. Because we cannot be playing the rule down for some people and hold some people that they should obey the rule. That's what we are fighting for. That's what we are joining. So
we would like to have if the identical format after the.
Yeah, they will give us. Like that one I posted on. You know that day I was saying it. That this is the format to argue. But later they went to the chairman to go and confirm. So Dr. Akala now said to me that he's sorry for that information. So so he now said, I now forwarded it to Professor Jones that what I said, the chairman, so he now said I should put it on the faculty platform. So for people to yeah, I will do that, sir. Then sorry. This one, do you have here? This table.
No, sir, it's not on the slide.
Okay. This table, I don't know, it's a categorization of related works. Please, you arrange them chronologically.
Okay.
You know that's what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes.
That
is So if you arrange them chronologically, not that you'll be going from 2012 to 2009, you come back again to 2017. Let them be chronologically arranged. Okay, sir. So
is that not supposed to be a place for this on the slide presentation?
He did not show it.
This is Japan.
He has about 2 of them, it's not even show. on the.
He has a lot of work and we told you to reduce the slide.
Okay,
So this one is very important.
So that one is very important because it helps people to now know where you are going.
Yes.
Where you are coming
There is
from.
something that we here. You must show the data.
Yes.
You cannot tell me you have data and I not see, and you are showing me the result of the data. Even if this, I know it might be too large, you should even show sample. Now, let me go to where I started from. Go back to that result. That's because.
Okay.
The result now. That one
This is the
started
result.
from.
Yeah, this is where you
It's
started.
no result now.
Okay, the result.
That
Okay,
result.
okay, result. Okay.
That will lead ahead. Go back.
Okay, this one.
Yeah,
This is
go
where we
back.
started
No,
from.
no, no.
I should go back.
That figure, you plotted the graph now.
Okay, okay, this one. Okay,
Now, if I've seen the data now,
yes.
I'll ask you this question. Why linear model? At this level, you are still doing linear model. And you are still looking on line of benefits. At this level.
Easiest part.
How many, sorry, can you tell me the size of the data? I want to think, I just want to explain something to you. Can you tell me the size of the data? How many? Volume. How many column? How many rows?
I can't get it off. And
No,
yes, but AI is from 1960 to 2022.
Okay, let's
about 63.
Or monthly.
One monthly, one yearly.
There is monthly and yearly.
And so you have compared data to this.
Now, even if it is yearly, how many years between 2060 to 2022?
About 62 years.
Can 62 years be modeled linearly?
Yes.
Press.
You have destroyed the data.
Can 62 years be modeled by linear graph?
Linear graph. With few points.
With few points. This is not
A
capturing the real life.
lot of data has been filtered.
And what?
Okay, noted, sir.
No. Oh, it's not everything about noted. It's doing the quality work. 62 years, and you are saying you are using this is PhD. There are non-linear models that can capture this thing better. That you say you are doing linear model and you are trying to look for a line of bed fit. I know that your real one is the blue, right? Am I making sense?
Yeah,
that
is
the
the
data.
Yes,
The blue. Now, you model by linear, the red. Look at the number of data points that are outside that red.
It shows there is no linear equation.
That is it. If you get to MATLAB, there is a place in MATLAB for curve fitting, which you use splice interpolants. It's going to help you curve fit this thing out up to 14 other 16. That is it.
Yes.
At this level, you should not be doing linear model at all. Linear model is just for those people in social sciences. Not to say. I'm just trying to be sincere with you. So you go and do another model. You can do this one at a stage 1, just to have a feel. Then go to the real one that will capture what happened. Not between me and you, out of 62, let's assume 62 points of blue. Go and count the number that follow that red and the green. They are not to 5 or 6. Let's say between 5 and 10. Then you knock off 52. You are not really predicting what happened. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Ilan,
Yes, sir.
I think you need to understand what you are doing now. When you make a presentation, you have to have a grip of what you are presenting and the message you are trying to pass here. The discharge that you have is not what you are plotting in linear, and this you have different information that you have superimposed in this figure, and you have where you did time series analysis of data. You should be able to explain what you have done and what you are presenting. We can just as you pointed out, we can even have what's it called, possibility of where you have data where scattered and this. And you can see what you want to do. If linear model is what will suffice to what you want to do. You can, but you should be able to justify what you are doing. And if you cannot explain that, somebody will drag you to where you will not want to be. And that is, I think that's the key problem that you are having in this position. You have a quick of that. Otherwise, it will see the surface when you go.
So can you, before I come back to the student, can you just help me in the exam? What I'm trying to explain here is having 62 data points, and it's captured 62 data points with a linear line. And out of on the linear line, only about 5 or thereabout fall on the linear line, about 52 off. Maybe I'm not getting it right, or what is trying to present here.
No, you are right. It's not linear.
So I'm trying to say, no matter what is trying to show us here, it should get a better fit than this linear at this level of phase.
So what you need to do to start from the monthly data,
yes,
to quarterly, from that to yearly,
yes,
and then maybe 5 years. Before I go into
yes,
10 years.
You can even do it piecewise.
And see, yeah, that's right.
Piecewise. If you know you can't capture all the 62, do it piecewise.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes when you do it piecewise, maybe your foliar series or so, you cannot make it continuous.
Okay. So you can make it 5 years or 10 years, and then you see the pattern.
Look at many blue that fall outside the red.
You show that
I'm sorry, it's like it.
Yes, sir.
It cannot be linear. You can have it, even if you are using a numeric fit. You put data point. 62. Why is it called MS plus C? It cannot work. It cannot work. So there are techniques that are called polynomial interpolation. Yeah? To check your numerical methods, check polynomial interpolation techniques. There are data fitting procedures like the Lagrange, the Newton processes, all of that. So I can make, can give it to him 5 months after 6 months.
And then we need to get this time and can do it for them.
But it's good for him to
learn the basics. Yes.
For them, you can assist him.
Thank you. If you go to MATLAB, for example, you see a place choose. When you click on choose, you go down, you see basic fittings. You click on it. It should now take you, what degree do you want? Actually, the best one among all of them is the slight interpolants. Now we even follow all the data. But the problem with the slide is that it should not give you the mathematical model. That's the problem.
Because that's an algorithm.
That's don't give you the model. But you plot it for you.
There's an observation too. I'm so sorry. When you do this type of thing, you need to normalize your data. Because if you don't normalize those the intervals, they are not really constant. So they get constant. But if you normalize, you can then stretch after normalization. So then you see the distribution clearly.
You understand? You understand that? You understand the
yes, I'm getting it. Sir.
What is the meaning of normalizing?
That is a kind of grouping the data, a kind of standard, making it to be in a particular standard, standardizing the data.
You know normal distribution. Normal distribution.
Yes.
When you have original data you get from the field, you can normalize it. Normal distribution. You learn it now. And that makes you to be able to now get any value from the field. But this time around, the value of most have been shrinking. When you have normalized your. But we can see.
Thank you so much, sir. Look at your the y-axis. Your y-axis starts from 2250 and it ends on 2700. Now your x-axis starts from 0 to 1500. You can make your y-axis go from 0 to 1. So you do, yes, you divide, you first subtract the minimum, then you divide by the highest. I can explain that. Then you go to access the 0 to 1. So then you now say on the x-axis, on the y-axis, multiplied by, so we have scaled. Then on the, if it goes from 0 to 1, for example, on the x-axis, you can say multiplied by 1,500. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's because you have decided, you have divided the minimum 0 and the maximum and everything with 1,500. Everything will now go like from 0 to 1,500. So if you have that, yourself, you can then stretch. You can then decide to go 1,000 points between 0 and 1. Is that okay?
Yes.
So just, I'm sure if you see Dr. Bemini or myself, we will be able to, I can actually help you to normalize the y-axis. That's what is a little difficult here. But the x-axis is straightforward. Just divide everything by 1,500.
I offer something for free. I will give you my software that I mentioned. You should just put his data.
We need to get that software before you can take it to market. You have to pay us for it.
It's free. It's free actually. I will give it for free. It's going to, if you can get the data, this data now, we put it there. We just type it in Excel.
Actually, the data is not the way we see it here.
Yes.
It's not, it's a combination of data that contains bonds, and so many other variables.
Yes, that is
when we see the data, that's when that this is summary of whatever he has computed or calculated that he brought here.
So in any way, as to get a better result. So I can just give you two.
Yes, I
so
appreciate.
Not I'll give you. You will use on my laptop. I don't need your data because I cannot give you the data.
Fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. I'm going to accept that I actually want to appreciate the work for you to have gone and spent all this data and come to this. You have done well.
Thank you.
You still have to do more.
Thank you, sir.
You can't finish engineering work.
Sorry, we are only trying to improve the work.
Exactly.
So don't take
it's fine, sir.
Maybe they are trying to do that. It's just to improve the work. That's why we are suggesting that help with our content. So that's one. Then one last thing for the case of competition for the best PhD. I think you show us your publications.
Yes, I showed publications here.
No,
these are the publications.
Yeah. Please don't cite this in your thesis. You don't allow it. Don't be citing yourself in your thesis.
Noted, sir. Okay, sir.
There is a place you cited that first.
Noted, sir.
So please, we will not allow that. Then two.
So it doesn't mean that all the four now.
Yes. No, as in the reports, in the body of the work, you should not be citing himself. If that publication is from that work,
References.
yes, he will even show you that he has published all this. This is good for competition. Like you are published for is good, but I just want to say this. I don't know those journals. I don't know them. But I want to say, make sure you publish in high impact journal and journal that has Scopus index. So that things that can qualify this work for selection for competition. It's not necessary that it's being selected to be the best. It can be selected for competition in Abuja. They will send about 10 theses that qualify for that level to the Abuja. So you have done a good work.
Thank you, sir.
And you are published enough. So please. You understand?
Maybe he has a limited work.
Yes.
He has a word that is.
Yes, you can start later work, but not the one you publish from that.
Okay.
So that's why I say you cannot be citing yourself. If you have maybe the master's work or PhD work, you can cite those works. Thank you, sir.
Sir Anila, I want to find out. You used to methods in your work. Before the particular, why did you use those two methods? I go to one of the slides. I have that container of the previous work. Not okay. Yes, no, that's yes. Particle swarm optimization and also. Why do you use this tool? Was it that nobody has used this tool before?
No, you see, there's an issue, the issue of creep ratio, which is an optimization problem having to do with deriving priorities, weight, okay, which these other models, the fuzzy HP approach, have some limitations in it.
The question I'm asking, these two, correlation of these two models of the approach.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't nobody has commanded these two before?
Yes, for reservoir site selection.
Nobody.
I've not seen, to my knowledge.
Best of my knowledge.
So,
Okay. No, I'm okay, no worries.
so thanks a lot for the contribution so far. Particularly our invited colleagues from other departments. I will be the head of our presentation. So, let us go through all what's said, and then the various booklet also. Let us try to look at those corrections so that at least we have better record. So, thank you all. So, but then we still have so please let us yeah.